Hello, Yankees Nation. Welcome back to your go-to channel, New York Yankees News Network. Today, we have a jam-packed update about our Bronx Bombers, with news that just surfaced a few hours ago. So, if you're a true Yankees fan, you don't want to miss these updates. And yes, before we start the video, a quick request. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay in the loop. Here's your first major update. Update 1. From Reds release to pinstripes. Could Jeimer Candelario be the Yankees' infield answer? In a move that has the baseball world buzzing, the New York Yankees have officially signed infielder Jeimer Candelario to a minor league deal. This news, breaking just hours ago, was announced by the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders and has been confirmed by Connor Foley of Yes Network. Reports from Jansen Pujols indicate that Candelario is expected to report to AAA on Monday, and interestingly, he reportedly had multiple offers on the table before ultimately choosing to join the Yankees organization. Now, for those keeping score, Candelario, who is 31 years old, was recently released by the Cincinnati Reds. He was in the second year of a 3-year contract with them. It's not hard to see why the Reds decided to part ways. He's been battling injuries throughout his tenure with the club and posted a batting average of just .207, an on-base percentage of .265, and a slugging percentage of .394 across 134 games over the past 2 seasons. Most of that production came in the first year of his contract, as this year, Candelario only made it into 22 games, hitting a paltry .113 with a .198 on-base percentage and a .213 slugging percentage in 91 plate appearances before being designated for assignment. However, let's not forget Candelario's recent past. Despite his struggles in the last couple of years, he's not far removed from a strong 4-year stretch from 2020 to 2023. During that period, playing for the Tigers, Nationals, and Cubs, he slashed a robust .254 with a .329 on-base percentage and a .437 slugging percentage in 465 games. That kind of production translated to a weighted runs created plus of 111, and he even enjoyed 2 3-win campaigns in 2021 and 2023. A resurgence to that level of play would be an absolute godsend for our scuffling Yankees. We've seen a recent skid where the team has lost 16 of their last 22 games, dropping us from heavy favorites in the American League East to 3 games back of the Blue Jays and tied with the Rays in the division. This consistent losing stretch has really highlighted the team's hole in the infield. While Jazz Chisholm Jr. is a solid player who can handle either second or third base, the current supporting cast of DJ LeMahieu and Oswald Peraza just hasn't been enough to consistently hold down the other position. If Candelario can prove he's healthy and effective again, it's certainly not hard to imagine him being a significant upgrade over the Yankees' current options to partner with Chisholm. Now, with trade season already upon us, there are some intriguing infielders like Eugenio Suarez, Luis Urias, Ryan McMahon, and Ahmed Rosario who could potentially be available this summer. Any of those players would arguably be a more reliable addition than Candelario at this point. And it's understandable if the Yankees feel they can't afford to gamble on a player who hasn't been healthy and consistently effective in nearly 2 years. Still, even if he doesn't become an everyday starter, Candelario would at the very least represent a more robust depth option for the Yankees compared to players like Nicky Lopez and Andrew Velasquez, who are already in the organization on minor league deals. This signing provides some much-needed experienced depth as the Yankees navigate the challenges of the season. Update 2. Devastating blow to the rotation. Clarke Schmidt expected to undergo second Tommy John surgery. In truly heartbreaking news for the Yankees, right-hander Clarke Schmidt has been diagnosed with a torn ulnar collateral ligament and is expected to undergo Tommy John surgery. Yankees manager Aaron Boone confirmed this devastating development to reporters, including Joel Sherman of the New York Post. This means Schmidt will miss the remainder of the 2025 season, and given the typical 13 to 15-month recovery timeline for Tommy John procedures, will likely miss perhaps all of the 2026 season. This is the worst-case scenario for Schmidt. He was placed on the 15-day injured list just yesterday with what was initially described as forearm tightness. Schmidt himself told reporters that he had been dealing with the issue for a month, which frankly makes his recent performances all the more impressive. The righty carried an incredible streak of 28 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings in June, showcasing his incredible resilience despite the underlying issue. However, he ran into trouble in his last 2 starts, allowing 7 earned runs over 9 combined innings against the Athletics and the Blue Jays. In that latter outing against Toronto on Thursday, Schmidt was pulled after just 3 innings of work. Schmidt's 2025 debut was delayed until April 16th due to rotator cuff tendinitis. Despite that setback, he will now wrap up his season with a solid 3.32 earned run average over 78 2/3 innings. While his strikeout and walk rates weren't particularly flashy, Schmidt did an excellent job of limiting hard contact and benefited from a .232 batting average on balls in play. This batted ball luck is reflected in his 4.24 fielding independent pitching, but the 29-year-old did exceptionally well to help stabilize a Yankees rotation that was already dealing with numerous injury issues. Unfortunately, Schmidt now joins ace Garrett Cole and reliever Jake Cousins as Yankee pitchers who have undergone a Tommy John procedure this season. And in the bigger picture, this marks Schmidt's second Tommy John surgery. He previously went under the knife in 2017 when he was still a college pitcher at South Carolina. He also missed a significant chunk of the 2021 season due to an elbow strain and about half of last season due to a lat strain. Given that this is Schmidt's second Tommy John surgery, it's highly probable that his rehabilitation process will lean towards the longer end of the usual time frame. This means Schmidt might only be available for the very end of the 2026 season, and it's probably more likely that he won't be back until opening day 2027. Schmidt is arbitration controlled through the 2027 season, so the Yankees might consider a non-tender this winter and then look to re-sign the righty to a 2-year deal, pushing most of the salary into 2027 when he is healthy. In the shorter term, the Yankees now face the immediate challenge of figuring out how to address Schmidt's rotation spot. Ryan Yarbrough, who is recovering from an oblique strain, and Luis Gil, dealing with a lat strain, should both be back after the All-Star break, with Gil set to make his 2025 debut after his own long-term injury absence. With Gil and swingman Yarbrough potentially joining Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, and Will Warren, that might provide enough depth at the big league level for New York to remain comfortable with the rotation. Additionally, Alan Winans and prospect Cam Schlittler are available at AAA. There's also the upcoming trade deadline as a possible avenue for rotation help, should the club decide some upgrades are necessary. The Yankees do have some time to assess how Gil and Yarbrough fare in their recoveries before making a definitive decision, and rival teams' asking prices on available starters are surely still very high here in early July. It's possible the front office might have felt compelled to add starting pitching even if Schmidt was still active, but his loss only amplifies the need for rotation help for a struggling Yankees team that is only 6-15 in its last 21 games. This is certainly a tough pill to swallow for the team and for Schmidt himself. Update 3. Rising star alert. Yankees, likely to promote pitching prospect Cam Schlittler to big league roster. In some exciting news that could provide a much-needed shot in the arm for our pitching staff, the Yankees are currently planning to add pitching prospect Cam Schlittler to the big league roster on either Tuesday or Wednesday. This is according to Joel Sherman and Dan Martin of the New York Post, and it's a move that has fans buzzing with anticipation. Now, for those wondering about the logistics, multiple transactions will be required in advance since Schlittler isn't currently on the 40-man roster. However, 40-man space can be easily created by moving Clarke Schmidt to the 60-day injured list. As we just discussed, Schmidt will unfortunately miss the rest of the season due to his expected Tommy John surgery, and this unfortunate development has opened the door for Schlittler to make his major league debut. There's a slight caveat, though. Alan Winans was only just optioned to AAA last Sunday, and thus his minimum 15-day stay in the minors isn't yet up. The only way he could return sooner is if another injury arises in the next few days that would allow New York to bring Winans back to the show. Should a forthcoming injury create a path back for Winans, the Yankees might change course, which is why Sherman and Martin note that the club hasn't yet absolutely decided to call Schlittler up. But for now, all signs point to Schlittler getting his shot. The current rotation consists of Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Marcus Stroman, and Will Warren. This rotation has now taken another significant injury hit with the loss of Schmidt, on top of Garrett Cole's Tommy John surgery back in March. Adding to the challenges, Luis Gil has missed the entire season due to a lat strain and isn't expected back until after the All-Star break. Furthermore, Sherman and Martin report that swingman Ryan Yarbrough is expected to be out until August while recovering from an oblique strain. This means Schlittler might actually get a bit of an extended audition beyond just a single start in New York's upcoming series with the Mariners. This could change, of course, if Winans is recalled, or if the Yankees acquire another pitcher via trade. But for the time being, it looks like we'll be getting a good look at this young arm. Schlittler, a 7th-round pick for the Yankees in the 2022 draft, boasts an impressive 3.33 earned run average over 243 and 1/3 career professional innings, starting 50 of his 54 games. This year, he has been stellar, with a 2.38 earned run average over 53 innings of Double-A ball and a 3.80 earned run average in 23 and 2/3 innings at Triple-A. What's truly eye-catching is his impressive 31.9% strikeout rate over his 76 and 2/3 total innings this season, along with an 8.4% walk rate and a 47.8% grounder rate. The right-hander has consistently done a good job of keeping the ball on the ground, though this can leave him open to some batted ball variance, as evidenced by his .350 batting average on balls in play in the minors this season. Baseball America ranks the 6'6", 210-pound Schlittler 5th on their list of the Yankees minor league prospects, while he sits 10th on MLB Pipeline's Yankees farm rankings. Both outlets give a 60 grade on Schlittler's fastball, which averages around 94 miles per hour and can hit as high as 97 to 98 miles per hour. Baseball America's scouting report specifically cites the pitch's 15 inches of induced vertical break. The report is also a big fan of the sweeper Schlittler has been developing, which nicely complements his more standard slider. This combination of pitches hints that Schlittler could be a very promising reliever if his future as a starter doesn't work out, but evaluators feel he has a solid chance to stick as at least a back-end rotation member. This is certainly exciting news for the future of the Yankees pitching staff, and we can't wait to see what he brings to the mound. And that wraps up our jam-packed Yankees news for today, Bronx Bombers faithful. From a new infielder joining the ranks to a tough blow for our pitching rotation, and now an exciting prospect potentially making his debut, there's never a dull moment in Yankees baseball. What are your thoughts on these latest developments? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow Yankees fans, and if you haven't already, subscribe to New York Yankees News Network for all the latest updates on our favorite team. As always, thank you for tuning in, and let's go Yankees.